So we're going to move on to energy itself. So I looked up the definition of energy, and the scientific definition is the capacity for doing work. So energy must be converted from one form into another to make anything happen. And so work being any sort of activity. And in a scientific sense, this might be different types of energy. So chemical energy, thermal energy, kinetic energy, so movement. But it's also true for humans. To be productive in any area of our life, we need energy. In fact, just to stay alive and for our body to function, so just actually lying still, completely still, your body still requires a level of energy in order for all its internal processes and systems that are happening within your body to keep on going. All of that requires energy. Now, if you want to function at a high level, which probably for all of you on here, you are doing on a daily basis, you need to have a greater level of energy, or it requires a greater level of energy. And there are various ways that we might use that energy in our day-to-day lives. So it might be physical, it might be moving, that muscular power, the balance, the coordination, the things that we actually need to do, to create, to move, to be able to create that, to do that work. It could be mental, so the thinking processes and the thoughts, and those thoughts include those worry cycles. So if you are in that worry cycle, then you are draining your mental energy. It might be social interactions, so interacting with lots of people, and even if you're just kind of out and about with lots of things happening around you, your body will be picking up on all those signals and those cues from the environment, and whether you're conscious of it or not, it is still all happening in the background, and all of those processes take energy. It might be emotional, so responding to your own and other people's emotions, and that can be really complex. And just a point kind of on emotional, I think our emotions can almost get pushed to one side and sort of think, oh, that's not helpful to me. I'm not an emotional person. It's not, I don't really deal with I don't really have any emotions that I need to deal with. But actually, every single one of us has emotions, and we really need emotion. They are what drive us, our passion and love for what we do, excitement, determination. It also enables us to live and respond to our environment, because so for example, fear is part of our safety mechanism. It's a part of our safety and survival mechanism. It's what keeps us safe and alive. So it's a whole other load of other emotions that can actually be our guideposts and tell us what we, whether, for example, we might get annoyed at something that somebody does to us, or just sort of that has an impact on us, and actually that might tell us that we're not okay with that behavior, that behavior was not okay, and it allows us to set in place a boundary. So they guide us, they help us to decide what that is. The problem is if they just kind of get stored up and not really sort of acknowledged and dealt with properly, and even if they do, all that process still takes up a whole load of energy. And one situation can create a whole sea of emotions that are inside you, and you won't even consciously, or not necessarily consciously aware of them, but you might notice that actually that sort of converts into very physical use of energy. Have you ever noticed sort of when you've been concentrating very hard, or maybe you are annoyed at something, or you're unsure about something, maybe your shoulders have become tense, or you're furrowing your brow, and that's all an unconscious physiological response to an emotion. You're feeling something that then creates some kind of response within you. All of those processes require energy. So if we just kind of keep it simple and look at it in its simplest form, energy isn't created or used up. That's a scientific, it's an absolute law. It is converted from one form into another. And to satisfy a demand for energy in any capacity, we have to have a supply, so something to convert. So whatever we want to create in the end point, we have to have some other form of energy to convert into that what we actually are aiming for, and we have to have something that does the converting. As demand increases, supply also needs to increase, and supply might increase in terms of size, or it might come from multiple different forms. So let's take an example of what we need to maintain that continuity of energy, because we want to look at how we're going to achieve the sustainable supply of energy.